Chris Curtis versus Brendan Allen 2 just took place. It was a fantastic fight, jam-packed with action. And in their first fight, Chris Curtis won. But even though that happened, a lot of people going into this fight thought Brendan Allen would win because Brendan Allen has been on quite the winning streak. He's been looking hot lately. He finished Paul Craig in his last fight. So he's been looking good. He's been looking like a hot prospect. And he won this fight too. But I thought the X factor for Chris Curtis in this fight would be he trains at Extreme Couture, training with Sean Strickland and Magomed Ankalaev, and Eric Nixick is his coach. So I thought Chris Curtis's takedown defense would be on point. And it was, to some extent. Anytime he would get taken down, he would quickly get back up on his feet and defend quite well. So I thought if Chris Curtis could defend the takedowns and keep it on the feet, he would do pretty well. And that's what happened for some of those rounds. And Chris Curtis won those rounds. But a lot of it had to do with Brendan Allen choosing not to go for a takedown. He would just choose to strike with Chris. And when Brendan chose to do that, Chris would just outbox him and piece him up. I mean, Brendan had his moments too, but the edge was definitely towards Chris. He would win the bet. He would win those boxing exchanges, whether by a little or by a lot. And he won a couple of those rounds. But the rounds where Brendan took down Chris and controlled him for longer, Brendan won those. But Brendan made the fight too close for comfort. Heaven knows why he chose to stand with Chris in the first rounds and not just go for a takedown immediately when he's fresh and not half concussed from the punches. Because if he did that, he could have possibly won more comfortably. And after the fight, Brendan Allen called out Sean Strickland and Dricus du Plessis. And before the fight, I thought, maybe Brendan Allen is at that high level. Maybe he can hang with the top 5 or top 7 middleweights in the world. Maybe he really is that good now. But this fight wasn't a good showing for him. Some of his takedowns was quite impressive, the way he took Chris's back. But because the fight was so close, him calling out Strickland and Dricus and saying he wants the belt, it's definitely not a good look. He probably needs another good finish or two first before he gets some of that hype back, because this might have dimmed his hype a bit. But still, I'm looking forward to see who Brendan Allen fights next. And yeah, like and subscribe.